Hey, what's up everybody? So welcome to DP Tubs. Today we're going to be reglazing a blue, I'm going to call it a blue tub and tile enclosure. So here I've already brushed on the acid, which you guys have already seen in some of my previous videos. So the acid is put on to etch the tile and degloss it, kind of roughing it up for adhesion. So I'm going to scrub in, it's kind of like a gel, as you could see. So I'm going to scrub that in so it's kind of evenly put on the tile all around the area, and just to kind of really get it scuffed up, let it sit. Once I put it on, I'm going to let it sit for about a good 10 to 15 minutes before I go ahead and rinse it. So now that everything's applied, I'm gonna go ahead and rinse the area. Just basically apply water around, and then I'll just take a sponge or a Scotch-Brite and just kind of scuff it again. Really just kind of rubbing it through the tile, making sure all the area is covered. The acid etch is extremely important when you're reglazing tile. You do not want to spray it and have issues with the material adhering to the surface. So this is a crucial part that I see skipped quite often in the reglazing industry, and so this is something that I'm very adamant about doing. And so just wiping off, you could see some of the tile already, that white, it's basically the etch. It's rough. When I put my hands on it, it's not that glossy, just kind of slippery feel. It's actually kind of rough. So now that the tile's acid etched, I'm gonna go ahead and get started on working on the bathtub. I'll do that last because I have to rinse everything into the tub anyway. So now that everything's dried above it, I'm gonna go ahead and rinse off and wipe down the acid etched bathtub. So now with everything etched, this shower basically has a couple tiles that are damaged. So I'm going to take some putty and just kind of put it over the cracks, mix it all together, with the hardener and the putty. You'll make sure that you mix it really well, and then we're going to go ahead and apply it, and just to kind of smoothen out those tiles. So that way when I spray the white tiles, blue tiles, you're not going to be able to tell a difference at all. So now that I'm going to wait for the putty to dry, I've got to mask off and tape around the area. That way, while it's drying, I'm not wasting any time. So I'm going to go ahead and mask off. I usually use blue tape on areas where there's wallpaper or just painted walls. That way I don't have a chance of peeling it off. And so I'm going to go ahead and get started there. I do make sure I always get that little spot in the corner so I don't have like a squared edge. I just go along with the contour of the tile. So now I'm going to start putting up the masking paper. So I do use the white masking tape and paper to go over the bordered blue tape. I usually will go, it's about 12 inches wide, so I'll go about 24, two rows around the perimeter in order to prevent any overspray. And so now that we've got everything masked off, I'm going to go ahead and start sanding and putting some additional putty skim coats over the tile to fill the cracks, and gonna smoothen out that grout line just to kind of make it look like tile. Alright, so here we are all prepped and ready. I'm gonna get a primer coat on here, and then I'm gonna go ahead and start spraying the finish coat. Here now is the first coat of the white, which actually is pretty good coverage. So I'm going to put 2 more coats on here. You can see no more blue. It's looking really good. It's got a good reflection. Yeah, looking good.